What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. I am back on the road. I'm kind of struggling to get my sleep schedule back on track, guys. I stayed with a buddy of mine for a couple of days over the weekend, did some recording, and he's one of these types that stays up until 5 in the morning every night. And so we stayed up getting drunk and stuff and doing music. And of course, you guys saw this last video I posted that I recorded over the weekend on Saturday night. And and then I had to drive all night on my way in, and then on my way out I had to drive all night. And so my sleep schedule is just really screwed up. So I drove all night before last, and I was going to do a hard reset, meaning I was going to stay up all day yesterday, and I just wasn't able to do it. And I slept for 4 hours. I was able to get to sleep, but my body still did not want to wake up this morning. So it's going to be a struggle to get back on schedule. Anyway, before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I am not your mama, all right? Jeremy has put out a couple of videos on his Financial Education 3 channel where he's got this little screen at the beginning that says, "I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not your mama or papa." And I'm like, is Jeremy watching my videos? I don't know, guys. I don't really believe in coincidences. He just happens to start telling people he's not their mama. Come on now, come on. Go tell him something. But anyway, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the music that I've been putting up. I've found some more, of old stuff. And so we probably throw some of that up every once in a while, and I've still got some more recent stuff that I haven't put up yet. But it was a way for me to kind of keep things rolling a little bit while I was gone, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And some people had wanted to see if I still got it, and so I threw up that Stevie Ray Vaughan cover that I recorded Saturday night to show you that I'm not saying I'm a badass, but I still play, So the stock market, though, we had a couple pretty good days. We strung together some pretty good days, and things are kind of on the rise and just really kind of stabilizing. We didn't see any huge moves, although Hyliion, we got a 10% move on Friday. 10% move yesterday. So that was pretty nice. It's still not back up to fantastic levels, but it was nice to see a 10% move. It's interesting to me that they made that big announcement about the coalition, got a 12% move, gave it all back, and then now they do a 10% move just based on what appears to be a news story about them going on some Benzinga program, which I'm not familiar with. We'll see if they hold it or not, okay? I hope they do. But it's just interesting to me that they put that really good news out and didn't hold any of it. And then now they've jumped on what seems to be less important news. Are investors more interested in what news story what program they're going to go on, or are they more interested in the actual business? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Hype over fundamentals, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But, nevertheless, a lot of the things have moved. Enphase had been moving upward really nicely, and somehow it's lost 8% in the extended hours, even though they've got a good news story that had come out. I believe Jim Cramer talked about it yesterday. That's the news story that I'm seeing is that Jim Cramer talked about it and said how he's bullish on Enphase or something. I don't watch television, so I don't really know, what was actually said on the program. I'll be looking around today and hopefully can find some videos or something about it. Close this up. So Enphase was really on the come up again, and now they've dropped back down in the pre-market or potentially the post-market. CLNE moving up a little bit, and then they're down. They've lost about half of it back in the pre-market. Hopefully Hyliion's going to keep running, guys. It's given back about 2% of that move in the pre-market so far. I've got my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Looks like really a lot of the SPACs and ex-SPACs are kind of finding their way back up to support and resistance levels, and maybe we'll get some sideways movement before we hopefully start a run again. That's what I'd like to see. But it does seem like a lot of these SPACs or former SPACs have been just kind of trickling upwards to their resistance levels and kind of hopefully trying to stabilize around there before they move further upward. OEG has been making a pretty decent move back to the upside and has again lost some in the pre-market. Pre-market's looking pretty red today, so who knows what's going to happen here when the market opens in an hour and a half. But I'm seeing a lot of red in the pre-market as of right now. Lordstown has been working its way back up some, and it's also red in the pre-market, but I made a 2.5% move yesterday. Tesla was really doing well, man. Tesla was really doing well, and then they lost some more of that ground. I'm not really sure what happened there. The earnings wasn't disappointing or anything like that, and really there was stuff in there that I really liked. Some of the stuff with him talking about that all solar will now come with the Powerwall, and although that raises prices and stuff, a lot of the things that he talked about made big sense to me, which was like the fact that because they're going to put Powerwalls with all these solar systems, the more of these they install and the way that they're configured makes it so that there can be some kind of a safety net eventually when grids go down and stuff like what happened in Texas. And then, also the fact that we're about to need a whole lot more energy as these EVs roll out. And the traditional grid is just not going to be able to handle it. And even, how they're slow to react. So it's going to take a long time for them to build this grid out. And as we get more standalone storage like Powerwalls, like big battery storage at these solar farms and stuff like that, the more of that we get, the more we're going to be able to keep the electrical grid more stable, because during these peak times we'll have energy stored. Because whether or not you realize it, they don't store energy, and they haven't. They don't store power. These power plants don't store power. And so moving towards a model that's more focused on storage will make things more stable during times of increased demand or shortage of supply. When you have a lot of energy that's actually stored, whether that be big battery systems at the grid itself, or all of these home storage systems that are able to feed power back into the grid. I don't know. I was really bullish when he started talking about that, and I really liked how that was put forward, and I see that becoming a reality at some point in the future. Tesla's the future, guys. I don't care what anybody says. Not just with EVs. They're the future in a lot of ways. Their advancements in artificial intelligence, their energy storage, their solar. It's going to be a big deal in the future. So yeah, our stocks are doing pretty well, guys. They're working their way back, and that's really all I can say about it. I will say that one of the stocks that I own that I hate, that I wish I never would have bought, is a very good food company, and Jeremy, the video that I watched this morning, was about Very Good Food Company. He's an investor in the company, and I gotta say, those earnings numbers and the growth numbers and stuff on this company like look really, really good, guys. Like, so I've got the 50 shares of it. There was a $50 charge that I did not notice before I purchased it. So that's rolled into the cost basis, and it made it to where it just pissed me off that I didn't see it, and so I kind of hate it because of that. And then I only got 50 shares of it, so it has to go up a whole $1 to compensate for that $50 charge. And then because there's a $50 charge also to sell it, really it had to go up $2 for me to break even. So, but I'm glad to see that Jeremy made a video about it, and you know, the earnings and stuff did look fantastic. I mean, fantastic. Like, their last quarter revenue basically beat their whole year revenue. So we'll see what happens with that. And I'm not suggesting that you buy it. I'm not really suggesting that you buy anything, guys. But if you were to think about buying Very Good Food Company, ticker symbol's VRYYF, and just be aware that there's a $50 charge. So, you know, buying 20 shares of it, not a good idea. You can buy 1,000 shares of it, might be worth it, you know what I mean? But 50 shares, 100 shares might not be worth it because of that charge. So just be aware of that. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video to get us back rolling again. I really appreciate you guys being patient with me through all this stuff with my tooth, and we'll keep it rolling from here. So subscribe to the channel if you're new, like that video, leave me a comment below, and join the fucking Patreon. Thanks for watching.